Okay. So good morning, everyone. We'll begin with the reflections on universal well-being. May I abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may I maintain well-being in myself. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves. May all be released from all suffering, and may they not be parted from the good fortune they have attained. When they act upon intention, all beings are the owners of their action, and inherit its results. Their future is born from such action, companion to such action, and its results will be their home. All actions with intention, be they skillful or harmful, of such acts they will be the heirs. So, good morning. Today, I was thinking of reflecting on that last phrase that we chant in the reflections on universal well-being, which is all beings are owners of their karma, heir to their karma, abide supported by their karma. Whatever karma we do, of that we will be the heir. And it's kind of funny because we think, well, how does that have anything to do with loving kindness? It feels a bit cold, almost like you take care of yourself, I take care of myself, I don't have anything to do with your life. It's your choice. But as I reflected on a little bit deeper, I think maybe a better way to say that last line is what we've actually been chanting with Eve Decker's song, May We, which goes, may we take care of ourselves and live with well-being. And as I try to explain it to people, I say, this is a wish that you have the inner resources to take care of your own life, to be well, to be happy, to be free. And I think this reflection is very important for us in our relationships with other people. I think especially with parents and children. Recently, a number of I would say, young men have talked with me about their aspirations to cultivate, and sometimes parents not really understanding what they're doing. Maybe they want to attend Dharma Realm Buddhist University, and their parents thinking, what are you doing with your life? You should be going out and making a lot of money. Getting a family. You're going where? To Dharma Realm Buddhist University? Or some maybe have aspirations to be a monk, and their parents don't have any context for what that actually means. And so I can see if our children oftentimes, there's a couple of responses. One is kind of rebellion, and I'm going to live my own life, my parents don't understand me, and I argue with them. You're wrong, it's my life, a kind of defensiveness. And I see that sometimes swinging to the other side, which is, I give up, okay, fine, I'm just going to do what my parents tell me until they pass away, and then maybe I'll do follow a life of cultivation. It's like I just realized I just can't, can't do this because my parents are so unhappy. And usually I listen to their stories and their concerns, and I often try to share with them my own experience. Not to say this is the right way to do it, but just say one way, and from my experience on what I found helped a lot. And I realized it's actually connected with these 4 boundless hearts. And so for me, I usually share how important it was for me in my relationship with my parents to make sure that they understood I care about them and I care about the family. And that cultivation wasn't a rejection of the family. And I think sometimes a little bit hard because in the Chinese, becoming a monastic often is 出家, meaning you leave the family, renounce the home. And I think it's a misunderstanding to say, I almost feel like you're cutting off the family. You reject your parents, you reject all those relationships. I said, that's not my experience. In fact, cultivation comes from a profound care for the well-being of our parents and our family in an ultimate way. Because when it comes time to die, when the things of the world, don't deliver anymore, right? They're all impermanent. Our relationships, our money, our fame, our appearance, when they don't deliver anymore, what can we really give our parents? So if we really cultivate, we can benefit them in very profound ways. There's a saying in Chinese that one child attains the way, 9 generations are reborn in the heavens. And so that's first one, is real care. And you have to explain that in a way that they understand it. Not in the way I understand it or from a Buddhist lens, but really what is their way of understanding what care looks like. So that's one. The second is respect. As young, I know myself as well, being a young man at some point. I don't know if I'm still young or not. But at 18 to 25, there's often a sense, I know what's right. My parents are kind of backwards. And that can actually lead to a kind of a disrespect, a kind of putting down, even a blaming. Saying, we want to let that go. That's not helpful. So really respect the experience that our parents have had, that they've lived a life that's not easy. After you start to go out into the world and have to make a living and raise a family, pay the bills, you realize living life's not easy. And your parents had done this, and not only done that, they've actually given you a good education, or at least to the best of their ability, fed you, tried to keep you healthy, care for you day after day. And so the very least we can give is respect, an honoring of what they've done. And again, to make sure that they understand that, I say, Mom and Dad, I really respect you. I respect your experience. I respect your wisdom. And how does that manifest is actually really listening. Being able to put down our own point of view, our own kind of need to be right, and just listen. And I would actually introduce a practice that I realized we should all learn when we're young, but somehow we don't really learn, is how do you reflect back what you're hearing to make sure that they feel like they're heard. Right, Mom, I hear that you really care about me and want me to have a secure future. Is that what I'm hearing? Right? Being able to listen deeply to what our parents care about and respectfully reply back to what we heard. Not to take what they said, twist it, and then use it for our own argument. Right? That's often what we can do when we're not really listening, or we're just listening to reinforce our point of view or prove that we're right. But then I also tell these young men that in the end, also remember, you're responsible for your own decisions. We make the choices for our own lives. Our parents can't choose our lives for us. We can choose to follow what they hope for us. But that's a choice. And so you want to make your decision with the amount of wisdom and understanding and kindness and clarity that you can muster. Because it's your life. As the last reflection we had was, we are the owners of our karma, heir to our karma, abide supported by our karma. But through the intentional actions, through the choices that we make, we shape our future. And I find, to me, that was very liberating, because it gave me a way I could relate to my parents that didn't have to lead to a fighting mind. But it also didn't mean that I had to no longer be true to myself, to listen deeply to what I believed in and what I wished to follow. That there's a way that can be held in balance. And so I think that also goes for the parent side, for parents to reflect on how I'm not a parent at this moment, at least, maybe in past lives, so I can't really say exactly the experience fully. But I know for sure parents care. I can see it when parents talk with me about their children. But what I found that the parents who are, you could say, have a kind of ease about them, is the parents that realize that my children are actually have to choose their own life. That I can't choose their lives for them. And at some point there's a relinquishing of that control. Maybe it's important when we're 5, 6, 7, when the children are young and are just figuring out their own life. But even at the age of 7, and I won't go into this now, when the Buddha's son, Rahula, was lying, he gave him correction, but he basically taught Rahula, how do you discern the choices that you make in life? He was teaching his 7-year-old son the internal resources to make good decisions. So I'll conclude with something that just happened yesterday, which I thought was quite striking and unexpected. We went to watch a movie called The Mountain Path, just recently released by Edward Berger. And at the very end, when we were leaving for back to Berkeley Monastery, Tano, who is the executive director of the International Buddhist Film Festival, was talking with us. And it so happened my mom came up to watch the movie with a friend. So she was standing to the side, and I said to Tano, just introducing to the group that we had who was from the monastery, and I said to the woman that's standing across from me, says, I guess my mom. And he said, oh, Tano's very good talker, you could say. He said, oh, he's just started praising my mom. It's so wonderful that you had a son who could become a monk, it's great. And I was really struck by my mom's response to him, which I think stopped him dead in his tracks. It said, actually, my son chose me. He said, I guess he was going, huh? And he'd go, oh, yeah, quickly, oh, yeah, that's a good way to think about it, that you don't have to take so much responsibility. And I was just standing there kind of smiling, because Um, it actually shows, I would say, my mom's over the years actually learning how to let go and realizing, yeah, you know, in the end game, we choose our own destinies. So maybe just that much for this morning. Wish all of you can, in this holiday seasons, if you're going to be with parents or family members, right, caring, say loving kindness, respect, and listening, very important. But in the end, also remember, we make our own choices. We're the ones who shape our own destinies. And that gives us the inner ground and stability to stay true to what we really believe in. Okay, so then just that much for this morning, and we do 3 steps, 1 bow.